Hello, everyone, and welcome to Marketing Corner, episode 151.
Whoop, yay!
Woo-hoo-hoo. We have been gone a month, Casper.
It's one of those things where you call it life hits you like a train, right? Like
Good Lord.
what's
May
the
was
no
rough.
no no what's the saying? Everyone has a plan until they get punched in the mouth, right? I feel like we got punched in the mouth with like life. Like
Yes.
so
Technical
we've been busy.
difficulties, sickness, calendars.
Sickness. We actually did record and then we fucked up the recording and then we were like, okay, we don't want to do the same episode again right after, and then like here we are.
Guys, we've only been doing this for 5 years. What do you
Yeah, what do you expect?
We're learning. We're still learning.
It's a learning process.
We're just little podcast babies. We don't know what we're doing.
We have no
Oy
clue.
vey.
Who
Oy
are
vey.
we
But a
even?
lot has happened. A lot has happened in the months since we last met.
Yeah, I feel like marketing is a whole new place a month later, right?
Mhm.
Mhm.
Which brings us to the thing that is screwing up with everyone's lives and plans, AI. What are we
Yes.
going to talk about today?
We're going to talk about something we've been testing. So we've been part of an early beta. Now it's kind of rolled out to everyone that we're trying ChatGPT ads. So ads on ChatGPT. We've been testing it for 3 clients, I believe. So not that many. But honestly, if there's not that much to say, so some of it you'll have to just trust my judgment here. But we have a few things I can share that I think is
Trust
worth
me, bro.
talking about. Yeah. Okay, well, let's start. So first, just for everyone listening, what the fuck is it? So essentially, what it is that when you search for something in the LLM, it's very contextual. It's very similar to Google Ads. It's extremely similar to Google Ads, and you will show up on not like keywords, but contextual keywords. Let's call it that. So more like if like so you kind of feed it like what is the context you want to show up in. You feed it your website, and then it tries to adjust for that. All right, and then it works the same way as Google, where you bid on like there's a CPC. So you set like a CPC. The interesting part we found that CPC doesn't change almost no matter what context you give it. So it doesn't matter like because typically, let's say in let's use you guys as Cerevo. If there's probably some legal terms that are really expensive, right?
Yes.
Then those should be more expensive than some other terms, right? ChatGPT doesn't really differentiate between that. Doesn't really feel that way. It's like it's same like. Yeah, it's all $3. I think it's $3.50 or something per click. So it doesn't really matter. So that's a bit of a interesting thing. And then when you when you launch the ads, they figure out like they're placed typically below. So like you have your AI results, and then it's a little bit just below are the keyword results. It's really hard to tell anything, like because they don't really give you a lot of data. So it's very much a black box. Like we were joking, Eden, shout out to Eden on our team here, and we were joking a little bit about it yesterday when he was like, so I was like, okay, so what are we seeing here? And he's like, I don't really know. It's just like we clicked on insights. The only insights we could see was like there's more clicks than before. Okay.
But let's rewind really quick, because what do these ads actually look like in ChatGPT?
They look a bit more, it's not like they're small boxes. It look a little bit like more, let's call it, the closest similarity is probably Google ad shopping ads.
Okay.
Like what is they're not called shopping ads, but they're like those Google shopping, like those type of ads. They're just not shopping ads, especially we were on B2B, right? So for us, it's not shopping, but they look in look and feel, they seem more similar to that. So it's not like Google ads where they have like sentences and long like that. It's not like that.
But where do they show up? Because, if I'm in my ChatGPT right now, it's just a black screen with white writing, me asking a question. So where do these ads actually appear on the user screen?
I would, it's again, that's a great question. I'm not 100% sure, but
Okay.
as far as we understand, it's on the desktop version. So on the desktop version,
Okay.
like in that desktop version, and not the app itself, but the desktop, in the browser version.
Okay.
Yeah, that's where we've seen them show up. But it's really hard because we've been trying to replicate it. Like, see, can we replicate a little bit? Not that easy. So it is very much a black box. However, there is a however. there's a few things I want to highlight that's really interesting. So the first thing, of course, is this is only launched in mostly America and Australia, and I think one more country, a little bit Eastern style. So not at all in European countries yet.
Okay.
So it's mostly if you do anything in North America, Canada, Australia, I think as well. So that's the first thing. Now, the second thing is we can track a lot of because there's UTM tracking parameters on it. So you can actually track a lot of it in Google Analytics and so forth. And we can see clicks and we can see traffic. And we've even had a few conversions. So something is working. We just have a really hard time. We can't really, the problem is it doesn't tell us anything about the keywords or anything. So we can't tell anything. We don't know if it's this part that's the contextual that's good or this part or anything. So it's a little bit you can't really optimize too much right now. We don't really know. We're still trying to figure that out, to be completely honest. But the interesting part is something's definitely clicking. Something's working. Now it could also be bots. It could also be, but someone has clicked to the page, and also because we a lot of the clients, some of the clients we launched have Dream Data. On a paid plan. So here we've been able to qualify that the traffic that the companies that are coming in are also the right companies. So it's qualified traffic. It's the right type of traffic, and some of them have even converted. So there is and that's in my world, that's the use case I'm looking for. Can we get the right people in at a reasonable price? $3.50 per click is definitely reasonable for the test cases we've been running. And can we eventually get them to convert? And we've proven all three. So that's the way we talk about it a little bit internally. This is going to be big. This is going to be big very quickly, and it's going to be classic, a new platform big in the sense that they have no clue what they're doing in the beginning. So first movers, you get all the benefits of that. Yeah, because right now it's priced super cheap. It started it started really expensive in the beta where you had to have a massive budget and all that stuff. Now they kind of opened it up to everyone. So now you don't really need that big of a budget. And it's just, it's good. It's a black box. I'm really curious. We can't tell exactly what part of it is good. That's the problem. So there's probably a lot of waste, but some of it is very interesting. Let's put it that way.
But I think for me, I'm having such a hard time understanding how these look, where they go, and does it influence the because obviously I'm elbow deep in AI optimization in terms of content, right? Every marketer is. How do we optimize for AI to show up for prompts? How does this feed into optimizing for that and AI visibility? Does it influence AI visibility? Is that becoming a pay to play now?
I think so. I don't have the right answer. So ads may appear for users on the free and go plan. So a Plus, Pro, Business, Enterprise, and Edu accounts will not have ads. I think that's the important part. And you probably you probably have a Plus or Pro or Business plan or something.
I have a Plus for my personal, and then I have a Business plan, for my company.
I don't even have.
But also I'm in Europe, so.
Yeah, exactly. That's also the thing. You're in Europe, so you wouldn't even see him, right? Yeah, they were rolled out for test in the US in February, and then we got access to it here in March, April, I think. So I think that's kind of it doesn't influence any of the answers, so it doesn't impact any of that part, and it's only a pay-to-play part. So I don't think it influences any of your LLM visibility in general, the organic part of it. That's not, and if you look at, it's kind of hard to show on the podcast here, but for instance, there's a test here where ChatGPT does it, where they search, and these are all the classic ones, where it search for potluck power tips or something. It's something about dietary. So there's a dry chicken or something vegetarian, and then there's right below the answer, so you can like and copy the answer from ChatGPT. Right below it is a sponsored, where you can see the company name. It says sponsored right below it. And then there's a link where it says, in this case, La Mesa Hoya Enchilada Kit. Right? And then it says in stock, cost, 20. So that's why I'm saying it feels like Google Shopping, because there's a little bit more.
I see it now.
Yeah, it's not like a classic Google ad where it's a pure text thing. So that's essentially. Yeah. Then they try to match it in the context.
Yeah. So if people go to ads.openai.com, there's a demo. So it looks like you get your normal search, but then at the bottom, very similar, as you said, a Google Shopping ad where you can click and expand it. So I guess So I guess you would get hopefully what happens is you would get the AI visibility, the kind of unbiased as you say. I say that in air quotes, but the unbiased AI search, but then at the bottom, whoever bid on this the highest or whatever it is will have their ad shown.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
How the ads are ranked is just like Google used to be a black box. That's very much a black box here, because it's like they're literally saying if there are multiple eligible advertisers, will select the one that is most relevant to your chat to show first, whatever the fuck that means.
Most relevant. Yeah, no one really knows what it is. Yeah, the one paying the most, or yeah. Well, I'm sure like Google, it's also looking at ad quality scores probably or something like that, right?
Well, I would assume
maybe,
so, but I'm not sure they're there yet. Like, I'm not sure. My inclination is that I don't. Right now, I have a strong feeling it's literally just who's paying the most, but who knows? So and you can only see one ad per time at a time. So there's only going to be one ad result. So you could have technically, I think, as far as I understand, you could have multiple results from the same. So like, let's take the chicken enchilada thing. There could be a beef enchilada as well, and then that would be right next to it. But it's from the same company.
Okay.
So that's essentially, that's essentially the idea. And I think the interesting part to talk about, of course, is that this is like, for me, like I talk with the team about it. Like, I think the first thing that's really interesting is, of course, this is a massive cash grab. Like, and it's so, like, it is such a cash grab if you've ever seen it before. Like, this is just like, they're going to make a shit ton of money on it. And you know what? It's kind of like, I'm not, it's more like a personal thing. I don't necessarily, I don't want to support OpenAI too much. Like, I kind of more of a Claude kind of guy these days anyways, but but there's no denying that this is something you should be on your radar of testing out.
Especially if the US is a market for you, right?
Yeah. If the US is a market for you and you already have some good results, or you can prove traction on both organic LLM stuff, but also on paid search, then this should be right up your alley of testing. And I think, and I'll keep reiterating what I said before. It was just like, I think whenever there's a new platform or new format on a platform, the same goes for LinkedIn, the same goes for all these other platforms. You should always be try to move fast and testing them, because in the first few months in the beginning, that's where you really make the gold.
Yeah, that's where it's the cheapest, right? They're trying to do this proof of concept. Are people willing to pay for this? So get it cheap, and then
they're trying to validate it. And as I said, like, we were trying to set it up, and like the price didn't change no matter how much context we added. Like, we also want to be for this keyword and this keyword, and like it was like, yeah, same price. Like, okay, sure.
Okay.
Yeah,
just pay us, please.
Just pay us. Yeah, whatever. Yeah. So I think that's really interesting. That's something. We've been trying it on 2 to 3 clients now. So it's kind of interesting.
Okay, and it just leads to the home pages, and then that's where you can make your purchase and things like that. The setup
is so simple. It's like unbelievable. You literally type in the name of the like campaign. You type in some of the text you want, and then you give it like a headline. Like, you give it some headlines, and then you give the context, and you give it a landing page. Done.
Job done.
Yeah,
and it takes the images, I guess, from the landing page. Yeah.
If I recall, I don't think you even feed images now. So no.
Well, that makes my life a little easier, as someone who's getting back into LinkedIn, where it's like, oh, you need 12 creatives per campaign, and
fuck me. That is complicated.
Okay. Yeah. But what I can see in the demo is also that when you say you search for something, companies who have done their work with AI search, their links are also showing up within the text, kind of like what you're doing now. So if the example here it looks like it's something like, I want to build a fence in my backyard. What do I need? And it gives you kind of the AI typical with the links under each section, like they kind of usually do. Yeah. And then at the very bottom, there is one single visual ad, like you said, that says sponsored. So yeah, kind of like Google search, right? It's still the same idea of like, have the content be relevant, right? It's still that same kind of vibe to show up for that organic version, but then you also have this paid option at the bottom too. I'd be really interested to see those conversion rates over a long period of time. I can imagine
100%. And we're like, what I'm really waiting for and hoping for, and the team and I we're kind of impatient about, is just want to see what works, like keyword wise. Like keyword, I keep saying
Mm.
keyword, but like contextual. Like what are the people like? I don't know how they're gonna feed that to us because like it feels like so the contexts are so different. But who knows? They'll figure it out.
Yeah, because it's not a
But
keyword
it's not a
anymore, right? It's a
keyword
prompt.
anymore. It's
Yeah.
a prompt, right? So how do you like?
Mm.
Yeah, maybe it could be like sentiment, like or like a or it could be like a lot of prompts were in that space. So we figured like these were the commonalities, and here we placed our ads in, and then that worked. That
Mm.
could be some direction they could take it in, I could imagine, but honestly, I don't know yet.
Yeah.
But either way, that's kind of like the next step because like right now you can't optimize anything. It's kind of like fingers
Just throw
crossed.
stuff out there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. But it does seem to work. That's the interesting part.
Okay. I mean, but they also do say statistically, right? If someone's already found you on an LLM, they're already doing their research. So that's kind of a lot of the
I think
stats we
that's
see,
another
right?
point, right? Like,
Yeah.
but I can't like if at least from my brain, if I take a step back, when people search for Google for a brand, let's say they search for Cerevo, right?
Mm.
That's because you're looking for the right landing page. You're looking for the homepage.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
You've heard
it's because
about us somewhere,
you
right?
heard about Cerevo somewhere. So instead of if you're not 100% sure it's Cerevo.com, you just write Cerevo, right?
Mm.
And then you go, oh, it's Cerevo.com or it's Cerevo.io or .dk or whatever, right? That's the reason you do it fundamentally. Because like if you knew it would, yeah. Here, I don't think people do the same in ChatGPT. That's not my impression. Like at least I don't know if you like I don't search for a brand to find the URL in ChatGPT. Right?
No.
You find more like I search more for recommendations and like, hey, what software should I buy here or what should I do here or blah blah blah, right? So I think my hypothesis, and this is just a hypothesis, is that not a lot of it will be brand searches.
No.
Which you get a lot of on Google. Because like if you had the same black box in Google, you would be wasting a lot of money on brand searches, right? Like essentially, and that's the classic Google trap of just like bundling it all together, right? But here, I don't think my inclination is that you don't actually get a lot of brand searches from this. So it is all non-brand searches, which is really good, really interesting. It might be the wrong type of non-brand search. You show up to something you don't want to, but at least the interesting non-brand searches, that's hopefully a big chunk of it. That's at least my take.
Yeah, and actually, yeah, absolutely, because it's more people are using LLMs for their research, right? So they're trying to find it, and then what we have been seeing as well is that maybe direct traffic is going up because people are doing their research on LLMs. They're getting a few options, and then they're not always clicking through, right? And we have also seen that the 0 clicks on Google. People are getting contextual information, and then they're going directly to Cerevo.com or whatever it might be. So that totally makes sense. And I think it is very interesting to understand, which we don't know yet, is how they decide when to show your ad. So if we're
100%.
trying to be, we're trying to show up for a specific, framework, are we going to show up or are we going to show up for something else? And, we don't know.
Absolutely. I think it's one of the things I've been thinking a little bit about after this is that I think it's part of a more interesting, like a bigger discussion. Because like, I don't know if you probably have seen this also, like everyone complaining about organic traffic dropping in general, like more or less organic traffic. And like overall, at least from a SaaS perspective and B2B SaaS tech, where the space we operate in, like lead volumes are not as high as they've been. There are always like outliers where they're higher and stuff. But if I had to like put my really big goggles on, unless you're called Lovable, Cursor, Perplexity, whatever, like some of those really Ligora maybe, or some really rock stars on the market. For everyone else, like lead volumes are not trending upwards typically. Like that would be my overall take. And that's because like people are finding other solutions to the problems, right? Like instead of like when lead volumes don't go up, that's typically because the products can be replaced by AI, or you're finding other solutions to them typically. But let me take. Okay. But one of the things is also that one of the reasons I'm also thinking is that it also has something tied into the channels we are utilizing. And those channels have been more saturated in the last 6 months that they ever have been. And now this opens up a new avenue, because my fundamental thesis is maybe that yes, I think that's true. People are looking for other solutions, but I think honestly, there should still be a lot of the same buying volume for a lot of things. Some things, some products may be down, like some where like the mode is not high, but some of the other products that shouldn't change. And I think those are just doing, as you said, their research somewhere else, and we just haven't found a way to capture that yet.
Yeah,
it's a long point,
yes.
but I think
Yeah, no, I mean, it totally makes sense. And keep in mind, we're also with this kind of cookie blocking and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like, we're just kind of in this, we don't really know. And that's the thing that I think a lot of marketers are struggling with is you're answering to boards, or you're answering to C-level, or you're answering to your boss who is used to the old way of doing things where we knew. And now we're saying, we don't know. We have cookies, we have zero click searches, we have people doing their own research. We don't know where they're coming from, or, and I'm seeing a huge surge in direct traffic, which is great because it's, technically free because they're putting our, name in our URL, but I don't know how to scale that. I don't know how to optimize that because I don't know where they're hearing from us. They could be at a webinar, it could be at an event, it could be through LLMs. Who knows? So you're also, as a marketer, I think it's a lot harder now because you're just having to throw everything out there. And you have no way of knowing, how do I optimize this? How do I scale this? Because you just have to be everywhere. And that's one of the things. I just came back from LinkedIn, the Go for Growth conference at LinkedIn headquarters in Dublin. And, they were saying you gotta have to be cited at least in 3 or 4 different locations to show up for LLMs. So now it's not just enough for me to write a really high quality article and put it on my website and maybe on Reddit. Now I have to have that same piece of content in a newsletter I send out, on LinkedIn, on Reddit, maybe on Medium, on Quora. Like, you have to kind of spray everywhere, and we don't know which one is working. But marketing teams are getting smaller, resources are getting smaller, budgets are getting tighter, but we have to be everywhere now to show up at the same rate that we were before, right? So it's kind of a vicious cycle, I think, in a lot of ways. And companies who aren't rethinking their approach are going to really feel the pinch on this, right?
A small fun note on this. I don't know if it's fun, but it's a note. So I had a chat with a CRO the other day who works in a 250 man B2B SaaS scale up thing. They're going really well. The company's growing massively. They had found a way to optimize their sales outreach. So they went from 10 meetings a month to 40 meetings a month per rep. Super awesome. Really cool. And you know what the board reaction was? The board reaction was like, okay, let's fire half of them then. They were like, let's fire half because then, we can be more efficient. And then he was like, dude, what the fuck are you talking about? We should just hire more. Like, we should do more of this.
This is working. Like, hire more.
Oh,
Yeah.
So I think it's just like, sometimes the sentiment is also super weird these days. It's like, what are you like? Have you guys forgotten how we do business? Like, if you find something that works, you go harder. You don't
go harder on it.
And efficiency is not always the goal, right?
I was talking to a couple of companies when I was at Sasius, and it's so true. Like, everything, we're talking like content is king. Content. We need to make more content. We need to have content coming out weekly. We need to update all of our old content. But we can just fire all our content people because we have AI, right? And you're like, but no. Like,
you're saying something right. You're on the right track here.
Like, content is really important. So we have something that can make content, so we don't need any people. And I'm like, no. Like, no, we need people to make the content, but AI can help. It's this kind of this false, kind of this, I don't know what you call it, like a false positive of like, oh no, AI is making us more efficient, so we need less people. But no, you need more people to manage the AI to. It's a very vicious cycle, and you're seeing this a lot now, I think, on Instagram and stuff, where people are doing all these reels about now we've spent too much in AI, so we're going to reduce the amount of tokens and hire people. It's kind of like we've come full circle again because you fired people because you have AI, but AI is super expensive, so now you need to stop AI and invest more in people.
And I think this
make
is
your
like
mind up.
Probably exactly, and this is probably a discussion for another podcast episode in itself. But like, it's a classic saying, because like, what's the biggest issue right now is everyone's getting hooked on AI. Everyone's going in full token usage, ourselves included. My token bill is a lot more than it used to be. Let's put it that way. And and right now, speaking of that CRO, I was also like, his marketing budget was shrinking, but his AI budget infinite. It was like he could say whatever he wanted. Like, it was almost infinite. He had I think it was $250 million, something like a crazy amount for that company size.
That's insane.
Just for AI, and it was just like, all right, that's insane. And so he could, like, as long as he could loop it in and call it AI, then we're like, okay, go spend on it. But I actually think that's a good lesson. And now I'm maybe giving away some really Spark Force visionary gold here. But instead of just tapping in as marketeers, we have to find ways to tap into that AI budget. Like tap into that AI budget, like yes, and then we call it, yeah, but boss, it's actually not about PR, it's about AI visibility.
Yes,
right?
and this is something we spoke about with what was it, Daniel, Dennis. I kept calling him Daniel. Dennis, I'm sorry, Dennis.
Right.
But you know, the PR articles that previously you couldn't put a UTM tracking code on, you couldn't put a call to action on. Now they're surfacing. So hey, can I get a PR budget? And that's great. We'll call it an AI
budget. It's an AI visibility budget, and then it's
AI
a different
visibility
budget.
It has the word AI in it, so it's okay.
It's
yeah, that's a good idea. So yeah, I need an AI visibility budget because right now it's content. It's my content budget. It's my SEO budget.
You got to make it. If it's about AI, then there's more money in the bank. That's interesting. And of course, I think the point is also that one day, like, because right now they're hooking us, what will happen the day when prices for tokens rise?
Which is inevitable.
Inevitable, right? I keep some people, I think the only counterpoint to it is that the Chinese, like all the Asian companies, will fight the other way because their go-to-market will just be like, hey guys, we do the same as Claude do, just for 1/10 of the price. But one day, even them, they will raise the price, right? So
it's get you hooked. It's like a drug dealer. Get you hooked and then increase the price. And that's exactly what's happening.
And then what the fuck happens then? That's terrifying and interesting at the same time. But you know, another note for
we marketers, we ruin everything, right? Like we always say that, you know, and now we're leaning but I think we were told to lean into AI. We were told, what can you do? Use AI. Okay, now I'm using it. Oh, but now it's expensive. Well, yeah, no shit. It's expensive. Well, wait. You didn't mean, you know, so I'm seeing other companies where they're having to choose like, oh, it's either Claude or it's ChatGPT. You have to choose one. And I don't really know what to choose because I still believe I love Claude. Claude is super helpful for so many things, but I don't like the language capabilities as much as I like ChatGPT. Personally, I think ChatGPT is better at content creation, my personal opinion, but then I use Claude very much for my reports, for my dashboards, for analysis. ChatGPT sucks at that. So I don't know which one, you know, it's like asking me which one of my child is my favorite. Well, I can slow down on my content production but then how does that have an impact? So we're having to choose, but I think if we, sorry, I was going to pull it back to the ads. I was just going to say to pull it back to ads is, you know, it's dipping our toes into this brave new world, I think a little bit, but I am very curious of how this influences AI visibility. I know they say it doesn't, but
I don't think you have to worry about it right now. No? Right now, it doesn't seem to do anything in that regard. But it's the same with Google Ads. Like your Google Ads doesn't really impact your organic search results, right? So I think it's going to be the same in this case. So,
but what's interesting is LLMs can't tell the difference between paid articles and not paid articles.
Yeah, from an article perspective, but it can tell the difference between a paid ad on Google search, right? Like that.
True.
Yeah. So I hear you, but I wouldn't worry about that for now. I think this is just like, it's a classic thing of saying like, let's just use it while it's here right now. Let's see what happens. But they're gonna make a shit ton of money on it, and you know what? I'll put some money in that pot. That's cool.
That'll be a little bit of it. That'll be yours. But I mean, $3.50 a click is compared to LinkedIn prices right now. I hope you're listening, LinkedIn.
Oh God, yeah.
Ouch.
Also, it's just Google Ads clicks, everything. Like,
Yeah, Google Ads is also going more and more higher.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So anything else about ChatGPT ads?
No, I think that's it. Like the problem right now is that it's a big black box of what happens behind the scenes, but that doesn't mean we can't use it. I think that's like my takeaway is like, experiment, be willing to admit that here it is a black box, but the front runners are typically the ones that wins. So take my advice, and if you have anything going on in the US, North America, like Australia even, then try it out. It will be in Europe probably soon, but I don't know when. So
no, and I think that's the good wrap up is we don't have a ton of data on this. We don't have a ton of information to share, but we just wanted people to start using it as soon as possible. So that's why we jumped into this
one. You could be sitting on a gold mine you're not aware of. Let's put it that way. Yeah.
Try it. Cool.
Thanks for listening, guys.
Thanks for listening.
Bye.
Bye.